Welcome back to the Loan Arranger Radio Show. Bruce Woodburn, Cross Country Mortgage. Yes, I am the Loan Arranger here helping you, your family members, your friends, helping y'all get a great deal on a mortgage when you want to buy or refinance. I also connect my clients with great real estate agents. Why do I do that? Because I was getting frustrated with seeing you picking your real estate agent, and you would pick somebody that was your boyfriend's best friend or your mother's bridge partner, and they're wonderful people and they may have a lot of experience, but they're not great negotiators. I look at a real estate agent and I don't think a lot of folks that pick a real estate agent pick for the right reasons. They pick people they like and trust. That's important. Don't get me wrong. You need to like and trust the person, but you also want a good negotiator. It's like picking a good financial planner. If you've got a great financial planner, they should be making you between 15 and 30% return on your investment. That's a good financial planner. If they're making you 7, or you got a high yield account that you called a high interest yield account and you're making 4.5, it's not good. That's not good unless you just plan on using the money in the next 6 months. You got to keep your money working in the market, and a good financial planner will make you a good return on your investment. You want somebody that you like and trust, but somebody that's good at what they do. But what happens is we find real estate agents that they'll find the search. They're very kind. They're very social. They return phone calls. They're even willing to work at weekends and after hours, but they're not good negotiators. So I got frustrated with that because I couldn't say anything to my clients when I saw money being left on the table. So I created a program called the Loan Arranger Real Estate Rebate Program. Say that one 5 times fast. The Loan Arranger Real Estate Rebate Program. Here's how it works. I handpick real estate agents across the state of Florida, and I have some out of state too. I vetted them. I've worked with them before. I know how they negotiate. I know how they return phone calls, but I know the results that they get. I know that they're not willing to just lay it down when a seller says, that's the lowest I'm going. And they say, I'm going in one more time to fight for my client. That's what I'm looking for you, to fight for you. And sometimes you don't even want them to fight as hard as I think they should fight, but you need that. I do this every day. I see transactions every day. You're leaving money on the table. So I created this program. I will refer you to a top real estate agent. And I'm not saying that they're the top one in the area. I'm saying they're the best one in the area, not the top producer. I know some top producers. I wouldn't let them feed my pig because they're arrogant. They think they're better than everybody else. Yeah, they got good production because they're just going to schlep you off to one of their team members and they're doing high production. But that's not what I want. I want somebody that's going to give you personalized attention like me. Don't you deserve that? Don't you deserve a little bit better? So I created this program. I connect you with them. They give you up to 25% of their commission, up to $10,000 back in your pocket. Now, you can't beat that, folks. You're leaving money on the table. So call me about the Loan Arranger Real Estate Rebate Program. Okay. Getting into a few other things here that I really want to cover. What is going on in the market? So let's nail this thing down. So before we started dropping bombs on Iran, we had interest rates that dipped down for about one day to 5.99%. Prior to that, they were at 6.18, call it 6.2%. Now they're about 6.4, 6.3%. They got up to 6.5 just a few days ago, but they're starting to come back down again. They're slowly creeping down to about 6.2% on a conventional 30-year fixed. 15-year fixed, lower, VA in the 5s, FHA in the 5s. You can get those programs in the 5s for government. Conventionals, a little bit tougher to get down into that range right now, but we're dropping. So what does the future look like? Maybe you should just wait for the Fed to drop the Fed rate. Let's talk about that, folks. So the Fed is looking at the next Fed meeting that's coming up around the corner, and there is a 99.5% chance no Fed drop. However, you got John Williams of the New York Fed, one of the most important seats in the whole system. He's a permanent voter on the Fed committee, considered a core voice in monetary policy. And when he talks, the market listens. Now, he thinks that there's going to be some rates cut around the corner. He thinks because inflation is cooling, we're going to have rate cuts. But right now, there's no chance of a rate cut coming up. But as inflation comes down, we could start seeing it. Now you have Stephen Mirren. He's an economist. He's a policy advisor, but he's not a Fed governor but he is an influential voice. He's known for his macroeconomic views on growth, inflation, and policy direction. Think of him as someone shaping the conversation around where policy is going. So then you got, again, Williams. He thinks inflation's cooling. He thinks we could have some future rate cuts. Mirren thinks that we could have 3 to 4 cuts this year. So let's translate that. The economy could be slowing, and that could cause interest rates to drop. Inflation is easing. That could cause them to drop interest rates a little bit. The Fed may need some stimulation in the economy again. That could. But why they believe rate cuts are coming? All those reasons: inflation cooling, maybe even less jobs, lower inflation. But here's what I think. First of all, don't expect this anytime soon. By the way, write my phone number down. You want an expert in the mortgage business. You want an expert that can help you, guide you in the right direction. You want somebody that's going to truly be an advocate for you when you go out to buy or refinance a home. Somebody that's going to be truthful with you. Then I'm applying for the job. Bruce Woodburn, Cross Country Mortgage, 407-706-3313. That's 407-706-3313. Or Tampa at 813-213-4009, or go to webringyouhome.com. Here's why I don't really feel like Fed cuts are going to do much of a difference for interest rates on mortgages. They may drop your credit card rates a little bit, but for mortgages, not so much. Why? Because right now you got interest rates in the low 6s. Okay. That's much better than they were. They're attractive. It's lower than the national average over the last 40 years at 7.5%. But people got used to the lower rates in the 4s and 5s. Don't expect that's coming anytime soon. If we got to the high 5s again this year, I'll be surprised. The Loan Arranger says maybe 5.99, 5.875 if we're lucky. And it won't be because the Fed drops the Fed rate. It will be because the bond market improved, because inflation dropped. But Fed dropping the Fed rate could have a negative reaction and increase inflation. So I don't like them to mess with that. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. We'll be fine. Let the bond market do its thing. That's what causes interest rates to drop. Low inflation, because inflation, remember, is the arch enemy of the bond market, and mortgages are tied to the bond market, not the Fed rate. Fed's got nothing to do with mortgage rates, but they do affect the economy. They do affect monetary policy. They do affect interest rates on car loans and credit cards, but not mortgages. Those are mortgage-backed securities. They are treasury bills. That's what that does. We have other things that are impacting the market right now. Investors will start buying bonds early. Bond yield will drop. Mortgage rates will improve if that happens. Now, we're not in the 7s anymore. We're in the 6s. We've touched the high 5s, but only briefly. Now we're up against a war in Iran. How long is that going to last? Oil prices are up right now. That didn't help interest rates for mortgages or anything else. Inflation, though, is truly coming back and it's starting to settle. So I think that could be a good reason that we see a little bit of a drop in rates. I just don't want you to think that you should wait till they hit 5.5%, because you'll be waiting a long time and you'll miss out on the market. And right now, buyers have got a huge advantage because there's plenty of inventory out there. It's a great opportunity. So if you're interested, you give me a call. The loan arranger can help you. I will get you pre-approved for your financing. I'll make sure you get the best possible mortgage that's out there. Now, I want to cover something else. How many of you have thought about, maybe for you or a family member, about a reverse mortgage? Okay. So here's the deal about reverse mortgages. I have not been, if you know me, I've not been a big proponent of reverse mortgages in the past. I'm very skeptical of them. However, there is a segment of the market that should get them. I know, and I'm still skeptical, not of the whole reverse mortgage thing, but as to who should get one and who shouldn't get one. So I am bringing on a business partner. His name is Brady Mullins. He's written books on reverse mortgages. He knows them inside and out. He works with financial planners and has helped many families within the cross-country family obtain reverse mortgages. So he knows the pros, he knows the cons. So I'm going to be holding a class and co-teaching a class on reverse mortgages on May 7th in Winter Park from 10 to 12. Now, this class was originally geared for real estate agents to understand the opportunities and who in Florida. We got an aging demographic in Florida. There's a huge population of people here that can benefit from reverse mortgages. So we have to decide who should benefit and who shouldn't. And the people that really are the deal breakers on these and the ones that make the decision, it's not the person getting the reverse. It's their family members. They think they're going to lose the house, or the families are going to get screwed and the bank's going to take the money. I'm going to address every one of those issues point blank. So if you're thinking about a reverse mortgage, if you're thinking about somebody for your own family, maybe you're a financial advisor, financial planner, will and trust attorney, I advise you to attend this class. You can be a better servant leader to your clients if more about the truth behind reverse mortgages. May 7th, go to webringyouhome.com. Write that down. Webringyouhome.com. Go to my website, go to my events calendar page, and book the event for May 7th in Winter Park, Florida. Now, listen, if it's a big hit in Winter Park, I'll do one in Tampa. But right now, I'm doing one in Winter Park. It's right outside of Orlando. It's going to be a relatively small event. I think I can hold about 150 people in this room. That's it. So it's small. You better book your seat and book it now. But don't book it and don't show up, please, because I have a limited room. So book it. If you want to know more about it, you want to bring a family member, you should, if, like I said, if you're a CPA, if you're a financial planner, if you're an estate planner, you should understand these programs inside and out and know the truth behind them. So May 7th, 10 to 12, 2 hours. I'm going to cover a lot of this. If you're a real estate agent, you'd be crazy not to come to this event. These are missed opportunities. There's so many people right now that are aging up. They live in a house. They use the kitchen and the bedroom. That's all. They use the kitchen and the bedroom. That's all. They got all these empty rooms. I was talking to a lady the other day. She says, I got a 2-story house. I hadn't been upstairs in 4 years. You know what? A reverse mortgage might be right for you. Maybe you sell that big home and buy another one, pay cash, or do a reverse mortgage and get money coming into you. Some of these folks have got maybe high net worth, but low income, and they want more cash flow coming in. There's ways to do that. The qualifications for a reverse mortgage can be very flexible. So here's the deal. If you're a realtor, if you're a financial planner, if you're getting ready to age over 62 years old and you want to understand this space, then attend this workshop. It's only 2 hours and you won't be bored, and you'll get all the straight shooting information. So there you go. There's your announcement on reverse mortgages. And I think that you'd be crazy not to attend if you or a family member is approaching that time where a reverse mortgage might be. If you want to watch me on YouTube, go to Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Arranger YouTube channel. If you want to visit me and see me on any of my social media, I'm always there to help you. I'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Lone Ranger Show. Don't go anywhere.